Right, so this is only episode 2 and the wheels of our sanity wagon are already starting to fall off. Today's review is on Muchi Muchi Pork, a 2007 arcade bullet hell shoot-'em-up developed by Cave and published by AMI. Wait a minute. Let's unpack that genre description. Bullet hell games are shoot-'em-ups with an extreme amount of enemy fire on screen. A shoot-'em-up is a shoot-'em-up with cute and more cartoon-like aesthetics. That sounds busy before we start, but believe me, it gets stranger. The story features a trio of female protagonists. Momo Barasoto, Ikuo Katakuchi and Refute Suki are from Batazuka City and have been transformed into pig girls by the main antagonist, General Pork Fillet. The theme of the game is pork, okay, and there are pork heads as collectible medals. The special attack is a lard attack, parachuting pigs and exploding pig pens, sure? They ride flying winged bikes called Keta machines, which are powered by pedaling. Of course. Muchi Muchi Pork is notable for its unique art style. The character design was done by Kazuhiko Kawasaki, who is known for illustrating plump, cutesy women. The enemies are all various other animals dressed in military garb. His art style is very evident in the game as it exclusively features overweight human-pig hybrid girls as playable characters. So, let's talk about Japanese culture in 2007. Do you like fat chicks? Yeah. These are the words that appear, in Japanese, on an advertisement for the game at the time. It is safe to say that that is not cool at all. And thankfully I would like to think that that would be highly unlikely to ever happen today. This unpleasantness aside, I think we have to be careful when comparing Western and Japanese media, as it tells us a lot about cultural differences. Primarily, they show differences in artistic and aesthetic values between different cultures. But they also reflect different values. For example, when Sailor Moon originally aired, it was okay in Japan that it had a lesbian relationship. But this content was famously censored when the show was first dubbed in English for a North American audience. So, who is progressive or regressive? Mind your step. Anyway, back to the game. Very little story is shown in-game, besides a few comic strip style images shown at the start, some panels between levels and a short ending sequence. However, I can't help but try and flesh out the backstory as the enemy characters are so striking and interesting. Unfortunately, trying to make a coherent narrative from the information presented may either be lost in translation or nonsense to begin with. On to gameplay. The scoring systems in Cave games typically rely on the interplay between two weapon types, usually a shot and a laser. In Muchi Muchi Pork, one of your weapons is a standard rapid-fire shot, upgraded by collecting P-chips. Presumably these stand for pork rather than power, considering your character enthusiastically yells, "Pork up!" upon being upgraded. The laser is known as a lard beam, which can drain the lard meter and can be replenished by picking up pigs. Pigs appear when enemies are shot, where they parachute to the ground, but other times they are innocently found grazing, waiting to be harvested. There is also a special attack which calls on the help of your mech, a giant robot that charges up the screen, smashing any enemies in its path. There is no such thing as an easy bullet hell shooter, but at the standard level, Muchi Muchi Pork is on the lower side of the difficulty scale, which makes it more fun and less oppressive than other bullet hell shooters. The bullet patterns are less dense than a typical Cave game, barring some bosses, and many projectiles are of the oblong spear type with straight line trajectory. While it still features a rank system, which cranks up faster as you build up your medal counter, it's also not quite as rough as other games, and it drops a bit every time you die. The game is decently paced with 5 levels overall, and expert players will find 2 more courses: Iharahara, which is the second loop, and Manpuku, which is flooded with suicide bullets, which can be enabled in the options menu. So in conclusion, I love this game. I find myself replaying this game quite often. Even for a Japanese game it is quite mad, and I think that is the charm. If you decide to play it, please let me know what you think. Until next time, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon with more crazy games.